In November 1974, Ronald DeFeo Jr. murdered his entire family, an event that inspired one of the greatest horror stories of all time, the Amityville Horror. Just mentioning Amityville can make many people in New York tremble with fear. In fact, the house pictured here found a spot on Time magazine's list of the top 10 haunted houses, thanks to the Amityville murders. One of the main reasons for this is the book published in 1977, which was later adapted into a film, The Amityville Horror. Although the book claims to be based on true stories, residents of Ocean Avenue believe it's all nonsense. However, one undeniable fact is the tragic murders that took place in this house. On the early morning of November 13, 1974, 6 members of the DeFeo family were found shot dead in their beds with a .35 caliber rifle. The 23-year-old Ronald DeFeo Jr. was the eldest child of the family. He gave a cold-blooded confession to committing the murders. The victims included parents Louise and Ronald DeFeo, Ronald's 18-year-old sister Dawn, 13-year-old sister Allison, 12-year-old brother Mark, and 9-year-old brother John Matthew. Following the incident, many people began to claim that the house at 112 Ocean Avenue attracted evil spirits and that these spirits were responsible for the events that took place there. But was there really an evil presence in the house before the Amityville murders that drove this young man to kill his entire family? While we may never be able to answer that question, one thing we know is that Ronald DeFeo Jr. was financially comfortable but emotionally unhappy. His father was an authoritarian and abusive man, and his mother was a dominant figure who exerted significant control over Ronald. Due to all these factors, Ronald DeFeo Jr. began to experience increasing problems. To cope with everything, he turned to drugs and alcohol. He had physically assaulted his father and even threatened him with a gun on one occasion. In the hope that he would change, the DeFeo family gave him weekly gifts and allowances. At the age of 18, Ronald started working at the family's car dealership. By 1974, he decided to quit his job. He would meet friends at bars, ignore his family's calls, and constantly complain about his loneliness. This led him to leave home. When he returned, everything would be changed forever. According to Valerie Plaza's book, American Mass Murderers, DeFeo entered a bar at 6:30 a.m. that day, shouting, "Help me, I think my mother and father have been shot." When bar employees arrived at the house on Ocean Avenue, they were met with a horrifying scene. All 6 bodies were found in their beds, shot in the stomach with a high-powered rifle around 3:15 a.m. However, there were some inexplicable details. There were no signs of struggle on the bodies, nor was there any evidence that they had been drugged. No neighbors who were awake heard any gunshots. Only the DeFeo's family dog had barked a few times. During the police investigation, Ronald's statements changed multiple times, drawing significant attention. At one point, he even claimed that a mafia hitman named Louis Fellini killed his family. But it turned out that Fellini was out of the country at the time. Eventually, Ronald confessed to killing his family. He was tried on October 14, 1975. His attorney, William Weber, argued that Ronald heard voices telling him to kill his family and claimed he was not mentally sound. However, the prosecution argued that although DeFeo was indeed a drug addict and mentally ill, he knew what he was doing when he committed the Amityville murders. Consequently, a jury convicted him of 6 counts of second-degree murder, and he was sentenced to 6 concurrent sentences of 25 years to life. Throughout all this, Ronald continued to tell different versions of his story. He even claimed that his sister killed their father and that their mother then killed the rest of the siblings. According to him, he only killed his mother. By 1990, Ronald changed his story again, claiming that his sister killed the entire family and he shot her just as she was about to kill him. He also mentioned a second person being present in the house. But was there really a spirit in the house? The next residents of the house, George and Kathy Lutz, wanted to turn this tragedy into a book and discussed it with Ronald DeFeo Jr.'s attorney, William Weber. After not receiving his share from the collaboratively written book, Weber sued the Lutz family multiple times, claiming he was owed $60 million, and the court awarded him $20,500 plus an additional $15,000 from the book and film revenues. Whether you believe in the events or not, the Lutz family's son Daniel claims there was a spirit in the house. Another son, Christopher, also says he saw shadowy figures moving towards him inside the house, which disturbed him. Interestingly, both George and Kathy Lutz took a lie detector test, which concluded that neither was lying. So, what do you think about this topic? Let's discuss in the comments.